Well, let's see if this thing continues to work. That fucking. Well, I don't know what's going on here.
One person's on.
All right. Well, we're having issues here, guys. Give us a second.
Also trying Pisces. Hi.
Hey, guys, give us 1 second here. We got some electronic malfunctions here. All right. We're going to try this again here. Because we keep getting kicked out. We tried to do a little test there for a second. But anyway, hopefully you guys are seeing us loud and clear here. Everything working on your end there, sweetheart?
Who, mine?
Yeah, yours.
I was wondering who you're calling sweetheart. I guess.
Okay, give us a second here so we can see your comments. We're trying to get loaded back in.
Is this it?
All right. Hey, Traveling Pisces, New Vision Security. How you doing? How you doing? All right. So, hopefully everybody out there is doing well and have found a place to hunker down.
Live chat. Wait. Hold on. I'm on the wrong one.
Not a whole lot here, guys. Just wanted to kind of reach out today and talk to a few fellow RVers out here who are full time that may be having a hard time finding a place to hunker down.
Hunker.
So, I don't know if a lot of you guys are full time out here. Have you guys found places to go yet? As most actual state parks are actually closing. Anything that's federally funded, because a lot of the aspects of the government are shutting down. Of course, public campgrounds and stuff like that through the states are closing. I know Arizona has closed it down. Not Arizona, but New Mexico, Florida, Nevada, California, and several others, and they keep compiling very quickly of who's actually closing the doors. Like we're here in Ohio right now. The Ohio state parks are currently operating, so that's a good thing for us at the moment. But man, it's just this is one crazy thing. I don't think a lot of people is taking it as a whole very serious. But there's some things that are kind of concerning. If the government's willing to shut down so many things to possibly hurt our economy, is there something that they're not exactly telling us, or is it worse, and we're just all waiting to find out?
Charlie and Pisces is in Galveston, and they are open.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so if you guys are out, whatever part of the world you guys are in, if you guys are in a campground, please leave it in the comments so other fellow RVers or anybody that needs a sanctuary place to go can find a campsite and wherever they may be. Now, my suggestion to everybody who's actually full-time travelers is to try to find you a private campground. I believe a lot of those are probably going to stay open before the state parks. Anything federally funded is. I don't think those are going to, if the government decides to shut a lot more stuff down, I don't believe that any of the campgrounds are going to be safe. So.
Well, my thinking is if people are living there, then they're going to stay open, but
yeah,
you just never know.
So right now during these times, it's kind of hard to know with any kind of certainty where you're going to be safe at to go camping. I know we were just looking at Campendium a second ago, and there's a lot of people posting updates to Campendium, and they're showing several places there that are actually closing up, and that list keeps getting bigger every time I've looked at it here the last few minutes. So, yeah, I guess really the best thing for you to do is try to find a private RV park or a piece of land, or maybe even a family member you can mooch dock off of if you happen to be fortunate enough to be in that area. Maybe go find a place to be there and try to wait this out. Because I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to be, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things that there's no handbook for when you're full time RVing, when the entire country possibly can get shut down. Um, so yeah, this is going to be the downside of full time RVing, is trying to make sure you've got a place to stay. Let's see, Thousand Trails parks are open. Yeah, Thousand Trail parks are open currently, but I think it's going to be a state by state thing as far as that goes. But a lot of people's camping passes don't allow them to stay no more than 14 days at a time if you have the lower end package. And I'm sure a lot of people who have the higher end package, they're going to book these dates for like 28 days at a time, so it might be a little harder to find a place. All right, who we got next
Steve
there?
Schwartz says, "Was nice to meet you in Roswell. Did you?
Hi, Mr. Schwartz.
I'm staying put in my home base, so there will be one more spot for everyone."
There you go. So yeah, that was a gentleman that was doing laundry when I spoke to over there before we left.
Oh.
So yeah, there's so many different unknowns out here, especially with this virus and stuff, and everybody's panicking, going to the grocery stores and hoard buying everything. I will let you guys know from being in transportation, we're not running out of food as of yet. Everybody can calm down a little bit on that right there. Grocery warehouses are fully stocked. The biggest problem with stuff getting out on the shelves is people coming and buying in mass quantities every time the store gets a delivery in, and not leaving enough for the people who can't get out. Just let you guys know, I believe this is a super chat. If there is anybody who decides to donate to this super chat, what we're going to do is any kind of monetary gain for this, we're going to send a lot of this love toward people who are not so fortunate, maybe can't find a place to camp, might be low on money because a lot of people are losing their jobs. Maybe buy some extra food for some people who are unable to buy items for themselves right now. Fortunately, myself, I'm still working, and so is Miss Jill, as she has an online job. But there's not a lot of people out there that has this option. I know a lot of places like the state of Ohio, they are automatically implementing unemployment almost immediately for these people. But this is not always the case with everybody. And I know this was kind of impromptu, a quick, hey, we're going to do a live today. But today I'm here. I'll be back in tomorrow in the truck tomorrow, and I'll be busting out running this stuff tomorrow, and to the duration until they decide to tell me I need to take a break again. So this is one of those things. Like I said, guys, I noticed that the super chat is still on there. So if somebody does, be rest assured that right there is going to go help some people that are struggling right now and having a lot less fortunate of a time than most of us out here. So with that being said, you know, my suggestion to people, if you're going out and buying things, buy stuff that more dry food, canned food, stuff like that you guys can put in your pantry. Now I know with ours, we're limited on space, and a lot of people are in your RV, so a lot of people can only shop for a week to 2 weeks at a time, because especially with anything frozen, you just don't have enough freezer space in a lot of these RVs. So I would suggest maybe try to buy more things that doesn't require refrigeration if you can find said items.
Yeah.
And toilet paper, everybody knows, is a very hot commodity, but if you got abundance of toilet paper, you might be able to trade it for a steak or something. I don't know. So let's see here. Who else we got online here? Auntie Kippies.
Yep.
Imperial Dam, open now. Good to hear. How you guys doing, Mr. and Mrs. Auntie Kippy? See, I'm still trying to. You have to reuse that like I can't see it.
New Vision Security Services. I'm still trying to understand buying all the TP and hamburger meat.
The hamburger meat I can understand.
Well,
I'm fat. I like hamburgers.
I'm going to blame it on the media, the government, whoever you want that first said, get your stuff, hunker down for a few weeks. And people are thinking, okay, I'm going to be home for a few weeks. I need to buy as much as I can in case it goes into 2 months.
Yes. Well, so here we are, guys. Got kicked off again. So hopefully we can stay on here as long as we can here.
I don't think I liked what I was saying.
Yeah, she said a bad word and there's nobody there.
It was the government.
Yeah, they shut it down. She said that
They
back.
didn't have anything better to do.
But like I was saying, try to find things that has a shelf life. I'm not telling you this to freak you out or anything like that, because like I said, the grocery warehouses they're plentiful. We have more stuff, and a lot of places are actually changing up from what they were usually manufacturing to actually produce more food products, sanitizer things, and stuff like that to get these things back on the market. The biggest thing is that we're having a problem with is everybody who are off work. They were sent home for a reason, to be out of the public, and these people are using this as like vacation, and they're just running around and basically doing everything they tell you not to do, of hanging around big crowds and going here, going there. Keep your outside exposure to a minimum, and a lot of this is causing hindrance to these trucks getting where they're going. They're in the way. Trucks can't get through because people think they're still more important than a truck bringing a load of groceries. Unfortunately, let's see here.
A
Yeah,
week, huh?
a week. Yeah, yeah. Well, it all depends on what you've had for dinner, I guess. Whether it's going to last for a week.
Yeah.
So chili was a good idea for today, because it's nice and cold and a little snowy out here right now where we're at here in Ohio. But um, hopefully the chili doesn't conquer all,
Yeah.
because we are not none of those TP hoarders like everybody. So
So
we got to ration ourselves.
one thing I would like to know, from if you guys want to answer, are most of you guys are staying in one place? Are you going back towards where your families are? Because we were talking about that today, how I'm kind of glad we made it back up here, even though it's expensive to camp. But we are close to family in case they need us. So that part of me wishes we were still in Arizona where it's nice and warm and there's BLM land.
Which I'm sure the BLM land is probably flooding right now with people.
Right. But, I'm glad we're by family.
Traveling Pisces says,
Guess not with hamburger meat.
no, we actually had hamburger meat in ours. We were a little spoiled. We actually found the last 2 pounds of hamburger pack at the Meyer store here close to us. So we bought that and we rationed it out to make several different meals with. So
Right. I kind of skipped out in the middle of work when they were talking about closing things down. And we just got enough for us for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Meat wise, 2 weeks.
Yeah, meat wise 2 weeks.
And it's still not even enough for us for 2 weeks. It was enough to put in our freezer. Which.
So the Pisces, you're staying with family in Texas. That's probably a good idea.
They said families back in East. They're staying in Texas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread
and
that.
then one of our friends is a flight attendant, and she said they're stealing the TP and hand sanitizer out of the bathroom in flight. Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That was from who? New Vision Security Services?
Yep.
Yeah.
I bet you that would cause a riot on that plane.
Yeah, that probably could. Jokingly, I have a friend who is actually in the janitorial service here in Ohio, and he says, "Man, I haven't bought TP for years." He says, "But I probably have to start buy it when I can't buy none."
Right. That's the way it always works.
So, yeah, that's it's something you should really be mindful of, though. Like I said, this virus, there's too many unknowns about what it is or what it ain't, and I think it's too early in the deal to really understand. Because if you listen to enough of this stuff online here, you watch these, the news breaks in, they're talking about this or talking about that. It just seems to be a whole circle of talking back around and talking around answering a direct question. So like I said, I don't necessarily think anybody's got the answers. Or if they do got the answers, they don't know how to deliver that answer without causing nationwide hysterics and people completely flying off the rocker, and we have a real life living dead or walking dead moment. So
that show has not helped the American people, if you ask me.
Right.
Because we're all like, we think it's the end of the world.
Ain't no Charmin left to squeeze. Nope, there's no Charmin left to squeeze.
Unless you have friends named Charmin, which I do. And I'm not going to squeeze her because she probably wouldn't like it.
Yep, crazy. What? I can't see that. Your cups.
Says, yep, crazy. Now they have to inspect the bathrooms before and after each person. Wow.
Well,
hopefully you didn't stink it up.
No, that's getting a little extreme here. People who's not too proud. There's fig leaves.
He's They're
corn
talking about on
cobs.
the airplanes.
I understand that, but as far as these people stealing the toilet paper off the airplane because they're afraid they're going to have it when they get home, there's fig leaves. There's other things you can make toilet paper out of. A good squirrel if you can catch it. I didn't say that.
I don't think he'll be happy afterwards, but
You might be a little angry, and you might get bit, or you might not have the things they value the most, nuts, if you grab a hold of one. So anyway, um, we're going down a rabbit hole that we shouldn't be going down with this conversation, fellas. Let's see here. So really, I hope everybody out there is actually taking precautions, trying to limit your exposure, and definitely just the main thing, find a place to hunker down for a while. Maybe try to stay off the roads because there's so too many unknowns as far as what's going to happen. See here, what?
Anti Kippies, I'm training our dogs. Wife not happy.
Yeah. I understand, and then this does make this very frustrating being full time RVers when your sense of community as other RVers, and like right now we're in this campground here and there's only a handful of people. You got to keep your social distance. But so I mean, if you're in some secluded campgrounds, hell, you might think the Walking Dead really happened because you ain't seen nobody forever. But don't go start shooting people you see walking funny. They might have just stubbed their toe or something. So yeah, don't do that yet. Let's see here.
It says, I just sit back and relax and enjoy a cold beverage and my traveling Pisces Yeti.
Oh, nice. So, anybody else got any ingenious plans that you want to share with us on how to survive the new apocalypse? I'll wait.
I think it's going to go as fast as it came. I think I feel very bad for Italy, but I'm not exactly sure they are taking human rights into consideration. I don't know. That's my own thought. But I just saw on the news that 793 people died in one day in Italy.
Yes, chili. We had chili.
I think it says chill, hon.
Oh, chill. Oh, okay. See, this is why I can't see this over here. The screen's like not where I can actually physically see. I got my glasses on too. That's pretty bad. Maybe I just went to public school, can't read. Let's see here. Traveling Pisces.
It says play a game of Monopoly. The pandemic will be over before the game. Probably
Quite
true.
possibly. Well, if you get the right group of friends that's got enough tissue, you might as well make small wagers. So that's what we're going to be playing poker for later. We're going to be playing poker for rolls of TP, like we're in a big house or something.
I think, I think it's going to blow over pretty quickly, and I think a lot of people.
Fitches.
I think a lot of people probably even have it that don't even realize they have it.
Yeah, and that's really where they're trying to get people to not be so close with each other and being in close proximity, is
Like
to try to stop. Well, we're screwed either which way because, but to try to slow down the spread of this virus before it actually becomes something that might either jump out of control to where they can't control and then all of us get wiped out. Let's see here.
Only 90% of people will have issues with it, which would probably be us because we have lung issues. They say a vaccine is a year out.
And that very well could be. You never know. I know they had some experimental drugs that they were talking about using up in Washington, but then they also said today that those drugs are something that they give people to fight off malaria when they go to like Africa and things of that nature. So who really knows?
Well, the coronavirus has always been around. It's this 19 that's new, and which makes me think that it's just going to come back. So they're eventually going to have a vaccine for it.
Yes.
I mean, we all can't be off work forever.
No.
So hopefully they figure something out. They did say that they had some things in the works right now being tested, but it does take a year for
clinical testing, for clinical testing. Well, see, the other thing about this whole thing is, I just don't think they know. That's really what it is. I don't think they know. I don't think anybody really knows what's going on here, or if somebody released it on us. Because, you can sit here and watch all these different, news medias and all these things here. All thing it's going to do is drive you crazy and make you worry like crazy about something
Right.
going on. Our thing is, I can tell you guys from being in the transportation side and delivering the goods, we're not running out of that anytime soon. And a lot of the manufacturers that produce that stuff right there, they are running. They're still getting stuff produced. They're just on a skeleton crew because a lot of people are taking time off because they're afraid of this, and a lot of places are keeping a smaller staff on there to kind of slow down the spread.
Right.
So, even drivers like myself, they try to keep us out of certain areas where they're producing foods. If they're producing in an area, the drivers don't go back there. So that's just how, in ways that they're trying to prevent the spread, from all aspects. They're trying to protect the drivers as much as they can. They're trying to protect their employees from the drivers coming in and vice versa. So, this is going to be something that, if this actually gets to a situation where this becomes a very, you know, serious pandemic where it's actually wiping people out,
It
you
is
know,
wiping people
I
out.
mean, completely wiping people off the map. I mean, like, hundreds a day, thousands a day that are getting claimed from this,
Well, Italy just had 793, so
Well, that's just what I'm trying to get
yeah.
at is,
Okay.
we don't know enough about it. So, I think people should really heed the advice. And, my fellow RVers or anybody else who's watching this, whether you're an RVer or not, maybe take stock in what they're telling us and find a place to stay put and kind of not, be out exposing yourself to potential germs or, exposing other people to your potential germs. Me and hers already got each
Right.
other's germs because we live in an RV, and if there's a couple in an RV, if one of you guys are going to get it, well, guess what? You're both going to have whatever it is. So trying to limit, what you can do yourself to
Yeah.
keep from spreading back and forth.
They said if one of you runs a fever to, quarantine yourself off inside your home, and I'm thinking, how we I said go hang out in the bathroom because that's where that's the only door we have.
Well, like I said, guys, what I'm doing, my career of driving, is I'm going to try to, do my best to keep out there and keep trying to get these supplies delivered because I don't want people to go without, especially vital things, things to survive. Yeah. Even if toilet paper's on a truck, you don't necessarily need toilet paper to survive, but it
Yeah.
helps.
I think the
But I'll continue to be out there.
yeah, being full timers and having, especially me where I work online, I think that's actually a saving grace for us. So, all of us that do work online,
Hmm. That are
luckily
fortunate, yeah.
we don't have to go out in public, and I can really limit it by, even ordering. I'm guessing Walmart still is doing their pickup, so that limits all my. I think I've been out once in the last 2 weeks.
Hmm.
I mean, I've been outside, but I haven't been out of the park. So,
So yeah, I guess the other good thing is people laugh at us for being RVers living in something so small, or being in basically isolation and kind of being quarantined. That's our normal day being full time
right.
RVers. We're in a small space all the time, so confined quarters really doesn't phase us.
My friend made me laugh yesterday because she said I've been practicing social distancing for 7 years because we've been working on online for 7 years. So
Yeah,
we've got it down to a science.
down to a science. Yeah, we don't need no social interaction. That's what YouTube's for.
That's right.
But so that's the thing. It's just it comes in handy being a full time RVer, and because you do have the ability to kind of be further away from other people. I think that's kind of one of the good things about full time RVers. Living this way with this kind of thing going on is it's definitely in our favor to not be in a major metropolis with hundreds and hundreds of people, and so I guess it's kind of nice. But just the real thing is not having a place to park.
Right.
So, like I said, if you guys can find a place, try to get that as soon as possible. Don't wait till the day of they kick you out someplace like a state park. Because, like I said, anything that's federally funded, I have a feeling is going to be closed
Right. And
before long.
we're limiting how many days we're paying in advance.
Just for that
Just
simple
in
fact,
case.
especially
Yeah.
at state parks.
Right. Hopefully the state parks stay open. Yeah. We're hoping the same thing.
We hope they do too, because there's still quite a bit of people that we've noticed in different state parks and stuff like that, or people are still utilizing these.
Florida's completely
And
closed.
yeah, travelers coming through Ohio. We've since we've been back here, we've seen a bunch of different travelers trying to get where they need to go, and hopefully these people are making it there safe and getting it there before basically they start shutting down borders or something at the state. Who knows if that's going to happen or not? We've heard so many different things. Like I said, watching the propaganda on the news of this, that, and the other, you just really don't know what the hell's going on. So I think maybe do yourself a favor, is you don't know what's going on either. So maybe just kind of keep yourself isolated from the general population right now until we figure out what's really going on and get a handle on this. Because if the mortality rate just keeps going.
They say it's going to get worse before it gets better.
This is something that we don't know how many people this is going to affect. We don't know how many people this is going to take out. And, why put yourself at risk? If you don't have to be out, don't be out. Take the time to stay away from people. I know it's hard to do, and not talk to somebody, especially when you're a very social person. It does kind of get a little rough. Let's see here. What we got going on over here? Let's answer some things.
Following the Fitches said, we almost went out this weekend, decided to stay home. Good.
Probably a good idea if you don't have to be.
And then Antique Hippie shut off the news and listened to the task force updates.
That's another good way to do.
We kind of listen, but we don't take full stock in what they say, because like I even asked my friend who's a nurse, they talk about all these people are dying, but they don't really say just that they're dying from the virus. So what is actually causing these people to die? You know what I'm saying?
We know it's a respiratory kind of thing.
Right.
And that's something that, of course, you can't breathe. And
right.
I think it's more like the pneumonia stuff is what's getting you, is what it sounds like to me.
Because when I listen to this, I think, okay, so if I have a fever, I should run to the hospital.
That's the last place you want to run to, is run to the hospital.
Well, that's where you're supposed to. And I think it's if you're having trouble breathing, like labored breathing where you can't breathe. But in my mind, that's too late. Like if you're already having that much trouble breathing, are they going to be able to help you?
Well, that's once again, that's a hard thing to try to answer somebody.
And then they don't tell you, majority of these people are not going to get too ill. I mean, they're going to get the flu. So why are they making people worry more than they should?
Yeah, the sad thing is that the only thing that's really coming out of this so far is reminding people of good personal hygiene, washing your hands, the proper way to wash your hands. And that's really sad. And we were watching another YouTuber the other day. And
don't do this.
Yeah. Well, the people say don't touch your face. If I got an itch, I'm scratching my face. That's just all there is to it. So, but before you start eating food, you wash your hands. The things you should do when you come in from outside, scratching around all day before you go digging into food. Wash your hands. I mean, I don't stick my fingers in my mouth without washing my hand.
We're being a little more diligent about washing. I mean, we wash our hands, but we do it more often.
I think we use more hand sanitizer than anything now.
We wash things down constantly.
Yeah.
So eventually, we're all going to become immune to cleaner. So it's a good point. Bill thought that myself. Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that. Unfortunately, we're all in this together, and I hope a few boneheads will actually start heeding the advice and limiting, exposing themselves to us and other people who potentially may have this.
Right.
Like all these stupid kids that went to spring break. I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, I understand what it's like to be young. Spring break is a big thing. Yeah, I do. Spring break was a great thing hanging down there. And you did a lot of things at spring break that was definitely not very hygiene oriented. Let me just say that from what my memory of
you remember it?
of spring break. Well, that's what I said, my limited memories. There was not always the most sanitary conditions of things you were doing and they say alcohol kills all germs, but
well, that's what they say to use for hand sanitizer.
Drinking shots out of a girl's belly button probably was not a good idea back in those days.
Charlie and Pisces reminds me of the 80s and the HIV outbreak. People are dying from other things, not coronavirus directly.
Yeah, and valid point too. Like I said, honestly, right now, I just think that this whole situation, it's too it's just too far, not far enough along to really understand what's really going on with this.
The Fitch said the parts he remembers are not non-sanitary.
No, they definitely,
Can you imagine what
yeah,
happened that he doesn't remember?
yeah, yeah. Let's just say there's been more than a few times in my younger stupor that I woke up in places I shouldn't have been and don't still have
And
no
not dressed.
recollection. Shush. Ain't supposed to tell me on that.
Why not?
Yeah, I woke up in some curious positions. Let's put it that way. Yeah, very vulnerable.
I didn't drink when I was young, so.
Well, anyway, I'm just very thankful I'm still here. So henceforth, I'm out here doing the things I need to do to be a better person. Probably pay back all the things that karma should be really kicking my butt for from back in those days.
Right.
Anyway, um, so like I said, really, this thing, I hope to God it's not as bad as they're trying to portray, and we don't have this epidemic that's going to wipe out biggest part of us on the planet here. That's not cool in my book. I'm just hoping that some people will take advice and actually try to be more mindful about what they're doing. Yeah, we've got plenty of folks in the family we love to go visit. They're a little up in years.
We have yet to see them.
And yeah, we're not going to subject them to that. And like I said, with me and Miss Jill here, since I'm doing what I'm doing, being out here delivering to these stores and being in contact with the public a lot more than she ever has to. I feel bad about having to come back home at night and basically subject her to whatever I may have found or picked up along the way.
You're looking
Yeah,
for it?
well, but so we've just really been trying to limit our exposure, and even talking to other campers, it's like no, sorry, but I think we all should keep our distance. Not inviting people into the campsite, and that's not us. We love to visit with anybody who actually recognizes us from YouTube, and we like to interact. That's just part of the thing. That's part of the RV life. Part of the RV community is get to know great people out here that loves this lifestyle. So it's definitely made it a little harder as far as your social gatherings, I guess, in the RV world. But a lot of people who are having problems finding toilet paper, well, guess what? You can still find some toilet paper in the RV stores. So, keep that in mind.
Right. Very thin toilet paper, but nonetheless.
So, like I said, anybody else got any tricks to keep anybody entertained or healthy other than watching YouTube videos? Well, a lot of people, the mixture of making your own hand sanitizer and stuff like that. I don't know what that mixture is, but I think, man, as long as you got a pretty good, reasonable amount of alcohol in it, you're probably pretty good.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody was making with Everclear the other day. And I was like, why would you waste Everclear? That is.
So some of the crazy things that I've heard about this, somebody called me the other day and says, well, I heard if you have a drink every like 5 to 10 minutes, it washes the germ out of your throat. I'm sitting there going, what bonehead told you that?
It's still in your system.
Yeah, so, I mean, you hear all these crackpot ideas of how to keep this away from you, Let's see here. What else? Let's see here. What Fitch has got to say?
We need to shoot some videos. I don't have any saved up that have not been released.
Yeah.
Neither do we.
What? No, actually, we do. I just haven't had a chance to work on them yet. Up there. So, like I said, that's why I made the announcement today. The videos are going to be a little off because I don't know what my schedule is going to be 100%. As what we've been trying to do is keep a pattern of videos every Wednesdays and every Sunday.
Well, I have one that promotes the Mohican meetup. But
yeah, that might be on hold. Yeah, we were just actually talking about that as we were setting up.
Yeah.
And about that, we need to figure out if we were going to try to go to that, and we're sitting there thinking, well, that might be something that's probably. Hopefully that's everything that's going on in the world has come to pass by then, and everything goes off without a hitch. But at the moment, was concerned about that too. A lot of people's not going to be able to do that because we were going to try to orchestrate a meetup with a few different other YouTube channels here that are going to be in the area for something this spring. Well, this spring, beginning of summer. But with and everything that's going on, I think we're just gonna, put a whole pattern. Because the Bowlers really need to do an actual meetup with all of our, you guys that's helping to make our channel grow. We've been saying this for a long time, and we didn't really want to do our first official meetup out of our home state.
Right.
So I mean, we had the opportunity to do one of our own when we were out west, but I think it was going to be better for us to have one here in Ohio. And it's all Jill's fault. We decided to wait, and the virus kicked off.
So is the throat sanitizer the Everclear?
Could be, could be throat sanitizer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
Um,
makes everything feel better, right?
I imagine you have enough of it, everything will feel all right till the next morning.
Sure. Probably cure that fever they say you get.
Die of alcohol poisoning instead. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. So, with, like I said, really just the biggest thing is just people who are actually traveling. I think you should probably just, I know you want to get where you're going, but it might just be time to find you a spot to hunker down till this stuff blows over. That's really the only thing that we can suggest.
Yeah. I think
You do what you want. I mean, we're just kind of giving you, our idea of what's going on because, we're, like I said, we've been watching Campendium and stuff like that, and the list keeps growing of places that are closing. So I
well,
think
it gives you state by state, and then tells you if the state park is open or not, and then and if anything else is going on with the state parks, it will tell you. Like here in Ohio, the state parks are open, but the lodges are closed, and so are the offices.
camp offices and all those
So
stuff are
it
closed.
tells you all that, and like Nevada says, all the state parks are closed.
Yeah, so we don't even know if the actual park rangers or anybody like that's still working. If you have an emergency, not even sure if any of that stuff is really still going on right now. So that's another thing, guys. With this stuff going on, you might not want to be so far out where you can't get help if you absolutely
Right.
need it. So being kind of close to town, but not in town where all the cesspool of the germs are. What was that?
The dumpster.
Wow, they must have slammed that dumpster. Did you guys hear that? That sounded like a freaking bomb went off out there. But that was almost as bad as that thunder and stuff that went through the other night. Lord have mercy. That I swear to God, it blew up the RV next to us.
It was like a bomb. It really was.
That'll wake you up about 4 o'clock in the morning. Let me tell you. I think we both shot out of bed.
It was
What
funny.
the hell
He
was
came
that?
up swinging. I was like, "What are you hitting? What are you gonna hit?"
If I get started out of my sleep, I come up swinging usually. So, um, yeah, well, like I said, it hints back to the old days, my old me. Places I'd fall asleep drinking, I had to come up swinging. I didn't know what the hell I was facing once I opened my eyes again. Oh
See
Lord!
what I have to deal with. Does anyone feel sorry for me?
The poor dog, and that's another thing, guys. Your pets out here when you're traveling, they don't understand the whole. Why are we staying inside? How come I can't go get pets by everybody else? Because we can't get socially close enough to these people to let you go play with their dog, buddy. I feel so bad for him. He's just been moping around. He's just mopey every time that I leave to go to work. Jill took the truck yesterday and took trash up for crying out loud. And the dog sat there, and I thought he was going to just die of a broken heart because he didn't get to go get in the truck, and I didn't go. And he's like, I don't know. He's flipping out if we are not both with him. Then he gets mad because we're all sitting here not doing anything.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people are saying that their dogs are living the best life because everybody's home and everybody's
home.
paying attention to them.
Right.
But
I just hope that whatever this is doesn't get carried or contracted by our fur babies, and
right now they say they're not.
hopefully that stays to be the case, and our fur babies get to stay safe and they don't respread it back to us if we all get it and get rid of it, or vice versa.
So far, I think they're saying it's usually not in all cases, but the older people.
Yeah, they said that, but then the other day they were talking about people who were in their 20s that was getting it too.
But
that may not that was not doing any good. Now Ohio's done had two deaths in the last 24 hours from this virus, and
I think we were kind of late in the game too of getting.
Yeah, Ohio's been a little bit later in the game because we're in that midwestern state that we're not getting all this.
Because we're Ohio.
Yeah, well, nobody wants to go to Ohio, not even the virus apparently.
There's nothing to see.
That's what they say. Ohio, I think Ohio is trying to handle this the best they can. I think the mayor is doing what he can for him,
The
but
governor.
yeah,
Governor or the
yeah,
mayor? I haven't seen any.
governor. I'm sorry, not the
Okay.
mayor. Did I say the mayor?
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen
I
anything from
just
the
keep
mayor.
thinking of him before he was.
Yeah.
So anyway,
He's been around a while.
yeah, he's been around the state for a while, and I yet to see a whole lot of good. But anyway, yeah, they just, I don't know. It's just weird.
I'm kind of excited to see the end game. Like what when we come out of this. Like, okay, so in 2 weeks or a week or something, we all miraculously everybody's fine and we're going to go back to school and work and I like.
Where are you going? You work right here.
Hey,
She's got a 10-second commute from the bedroom down here to the table. She has a bumper to bumper pile up with a dog's hind end.
It'll be interesting to see like the outcome. Like it's kind of like the snow days now. I mean, if you are from Ohio, when I grew up, we didn't get snow days. The snow could be higher than the bus, and you still go to school. Now a couple snowflakes land on the ground. We can't go to school. So
Right.
is it going to be that, or is it going to be something horrific? And they because some people have already canceled school for the whole year.
Yeah, I was hearing that in
So
some places in Ohio. Yeah.
what happens if they we all get better all really quick and it doesn't affect us as bad?
Well, I imagine they probably rethink that and open the schools at that point. But
It's just interesting.
yeah, it's hard to say how this is going to end up, how this is going to turn out. I guess right now, you probably the best thing to do is just try to be a little cleaner of a person yourself, and practice.
Look out for your elders.
Look out for your elders, and see that's the other thing that's
Yeah.
that's irritating me is I talked to Jill's mom and dad in Tucson, Arizona. They weren't able to really get anything from the grocery store when they went. You know, her parents are up there in age, and everything was picked over to where they really couldn't get the necessities they really
Right.
needed. And unfortunately, they're sitting there trying to figure out how they're going to do this and do that. Now we feel bad that we're back up this way in Ohio,
Right.
and they're out there, and we were just basically out there. Maybe we could
Right.
have helped out and shared what we had and things like that to make sure they were good and healthy and stuff. But at the same time, um, we needed to get back up here to get our truck done. Our new truck. We had to get out of state inspection and tags. Well, guess what? The DMVs are closed here in Ohio, so we can't get it
Right.
done anyway. Um, it might have been just a better thing that we would have stayed down there, but really we needed to get back up here to our kids too. So
Right.
I mean, we're kind of glad we're here where our kids are, even though we can't really go hang out with them and stuff like that.
But we're close by just in case
Yeah, if
something.
something happens, we're here. We, because
Mm.
right now with all the flights and stuff, you don't know what's going to happen. And personally, I
Yeah.
think on a plane confined to their,
Regenerated air.
regenerated air,
Yeah.
I don't really want to be in there breathing that anyway. So,
Yeah. But
uh,
yeah, if you know anybody that's elder, I mean, you don't have to go.
you don't have to
You
get
don't
face
have
to
to.
face
Yeah,
with
but
them, but maybe check on them and see if they need something, or if you have something you can spare
right.
if they're running low on food, because they can't get out as easy as us and fight the
And they
morons.
shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
No.
I
And fight the
mean,
morons at the store, elbow to elbow, reaching over top of you, trying to knock you down for the last pack of cheese. Um,
my thought is, yeah, I might not have any issues with this flu, but I don't want to be the reason, 10 other people die.
exactly.
So I'm staying put.
Yeah.
So
So hopefully, mom and dad out there in Arizona,
yeah,
which we need to call and check on them tonight or tomorrow, and make sure that they were able to get a few
yeah,
things. We give them a few suggestions on how to get some groceries, and hopefully they listen to us.
right.
Even though we're the younger variety, and Jill's the baby of her mom and dad's kids. The babies don't know anything. You know how that works. That's just the way it is if
We're
you're the
just the
last
best.
child. But hopefully they adhered, because I think Grubhub and places like that were still delivering. So
Right.
we suggested that they get more than one meal and have it delivered, and just eat
Yeah.
leftovers for a
She's
few
like,
days.
She's like, it's $8 to have it delivered. I was like, you can eat or you cannot eat.
Yeah.
$8 is a small price.
And
But
see, and that's the
I
thing
think
with
they're
older.
probably
That's the
waiving
thing
that.
with older folks that the markup and charge like that. They don't understand. Well, I'll just go get it myself. Well, you can't go get it yourself. There's nothing. You can't go.
Right.
Um, and unfortunately, there's a lot of old folks because of their principles and old school ways. They're not going to go. They're going to be stubborn about it. And they're not going to eat.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing that.
Well, I feel bad because they shouldn't be around a whole bunch of other people.
Right.
Because, you just never know who's sick at this point.
The biggest thing about, this right here is, I think it's going to affect, of course, the elderly, and it's definitely going to affect full-time RVers out here, because you just don't have some of the things, and there are so many people full-time RVing right now. I would guarantee there's probably over a million full-time RVers. I'd say that's probably even very low on the spectrum.
There might be more at the end of this.
Yeah.
More people might say, you know what, I'm not going to be stuck around all these people that are sick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get my RV and I'm gone.
Yeah. Now, it's hard to say what's going to come of this. I mean, hopefully everybody out there, like I said, can't preach that enough, taking precautions for yourself and your families.
Yeah. And I think even because they're sending everyone home to work, how many of those people that are being sent home are going to actually stay home to work? I mean,
Yeah.
the companies are going to find out that they can save a lot of money by their employees working from home.
Yeah.
They don't have the overhead.
And that could be something that turns into a nice over.
Yeah, I worked for Medicare, and that's what they did. And they're like, they didn't want to pay for the office anymore. They didn't want to pay for the lights, the furniture, the internet, because I had to pay for my own internet. I had to pay for my office equipment besides for my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pay for my internet and my electric.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything.
So she had to pay to make money,
That's right. And I wasn't very much. But Following the Fitches says, I saw a meme talking about how cheap gas is now, but we can't go anywhere. Huh?
Yeah, well, you know what sucked?
You can go somewhere, you just can't get out.
Yeah. I stopped the other night because I thought fuel was a great price. So I stopped, and of course, it was one of those pumps that wouldn't take my card. So I had to go inside. So I prepaid. Well, it timed out before I got back out to the truck to pump my fuel in here. And I bought something else. I bought a piece of beef jerky. Yeah, I had to have my beef jerky. But anyway, I bought a piece of beef jerky and paid for fuel. But I got out there too late. So then the gentleman tells me, "Oh, I'm sorry, the pump timed out. You'll have to repay for your fuel." No, I'm not repaying for my fuel. I didn't pay you. So now I'm waiting here playing the game here, trying to get my money back from there. But anyway, I had to stop at a place that was a little bit higher on fuel. I paid $1.90 something for $1.98, and literally I got up the road after I was irritated, of course, and I got fuel. I got up here closer to the campground. It was $1.60 a gallon. So that's how my life's working with the gasoline.
So now you know why in the Fear of the Walking Dead nobody has gas in their car, because they probably hoarded all the gas in that. You know how like everyone's hoarding toilet paper? It got cheap and they started hoarding it. That's going to be the next thing people are going to go out and take all of.
I will suggest one thing, though, if you are a full-time RVer. If you got a generator, that's probably not a bad thing.
Hide all the knives.
And have a generator. Have some extra fuel sitting around for your generator in case the power does actually go out in places. If people are not allowed to fix it, you might not have power. And make sure you got propane in your tanks, which we need to go get some more propane because we've actually had to use the furnace because it's a freaking iceberg back here in Ohio.
20 degrees at night.
Well, the Fitches know all about that. They're
yeah.
just freezing their butt off too.
And they're north, so they're probably colder than we are.
I don't know. I know the Fitches are around here somewhere close, I think.
No.
They're somewhere pretty close to where we're at. Let's see here. Yeah, I know. We caught the video there. You guys up there. We wish we could have been up there with you guys, but
we just got back.
Yeah, we had got back, I think,
a couple weeks ago. This is our third week.
No doubt, dork.
Hide the knives, y'all.
Hide the knives. Hide the knives.
30 minutes of where you think you guys are. Where I think you guys are. Okay.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I knew you guys weren't too far away. Matter of fact, there was a gentleman that looked just like you there, bitch.
Yeah, he's like, I think that was them. They just drove
like, yeah, it doesn't look like his truck, though.
Stop being my chair.
So about you guys, Fitches, you guys got anything else planned before the apocalypse happens and you camper like melts away or anything like that going to happen for you guys?
Gonna look for some Twinkies. Must have been handsome.
I wouldn't go that far.
He did get all
I was a
excited.
little scared.
He was really excited.
Hey man, he's a good looking guy. What can I say? He left the cow in the bag.
Would you guys like a room?
No. Just make sure you pet Tank for me. The dog.
Where is our dog?
He's
there
back
he
here
is.
hiding.
Hi, dog. Not really much. Not much going on. I'm working from home, as most people are.
That's nice working from home, isn't it? Wow, there's not a whole lot of people who want to watch the live chat today. I mean, we got stimulating
What?
conversation. We
You
definitely
need to hold
appreciate the
still.
rest of it.
The screen's going.
Well, we appreciate you guys that are online with us today. That's very awesome. We're a good way to kill biggest part of your, what is it, today? Saturday? What day is it?
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. Kill your boredom with the idiocracy called Rolling with the Bullens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, guys. I hope, like I said, I really hope everything. This is not going to be a washout summer for the camping season. I don't know. I definitely want to get. Who's ready for a Rolling with the Bullens meetup? What did they say?
Loving this chat.
You're loving this chat? Good. I'm glad you are.
I think we're gonna shoot a how to geocache video soon.
All right, that'd be
Yeah.
good.
We've been down for we'd be down for meetup.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to get something of that going on here. I'm going to reach out to a few people that may be in the area and see if they want to party, as Sinbad would say.
We'll have
Party.
we'll have a big old meetup with everybody after
After the apocalypse,
it's done. We'll have a big old
we survived. We'll have a survival party.
So if it's not social distancing, it's social. Just being social.
We're not having a gathering of all you women finally shaving your armpits and your legs when you come out of quarantine.
Why can't you do that while you're quarantined?
Because some people use that as like the No Shave November all over again.
I don't shave anyways. Hey, I live in an RV. I don't have to.
Oh, God.
We are blessed. We are retired and do not have to worry about jobs. I'm having a hard time getting groceries. Aw.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing that, like I said, if you're out there and you could spare a little something for your neighbors, not everybody's been fortunate enough to be able to go get these items and things like that. And that's why I said, whatever we can find that we can get rid, what we can spare ourselves.
Where they are.
Antique hippies, where are you guys currently located at? You guys are still out west, aren't you?
Maybe we know somebody nearby that can help you out if you need help.
Yeah. And that's what really this full-time RV life is really about. Is I think we're just one big extended family out here.
Right. I know somebody we were watching on YouTube, they're going to, at their campground, they're going to put a whole bunch of food, and then that way if you need food, you can take it. If you have extra...
I like that idea, but unfortunately, somebody would have to be there to monitor that situation because, as we've learned with the TP issue, people cannot, take exactly what they need and leave for others. Unfortunately,
it's anxiety, and it's it's what the whoever you want to blame, it's their fault. They have made it to where we worry and freak out easily.
Well, I understand that too, but it's still
at Imperial Dam. Dam.
I don't know where that's at.
I have stuff now, but I had to go to 5 stores. Yeah, we had to go to a couple, but
yeah,
it's I mean, it wasn't easy for us, but
yeah, we had to go to several stores to find a few things that we needed as well.
But we, like I said, we did it like early.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, we were traveling light anyway, so we didn't go to the grocery store when we left Texas because it was like, we're going to be in travel. There's no point in it. We'll just, I think we grabbed a pack of lunch meat and some bread or something. I think it was in Texas.
Just have to make it home.
Yeah, basically, so we could make some sandwiches along the way and just, if we decided we want something else and we stop to gas up, grab a sandwich someplace, you know. But yeah, so we definitely had to go restocking groceries and stuff, and it's a little weird feeling when you get to that whole thing of all the modern conveniences you're used to, and you walk in the store and they're not there. I mean, like nothing's there.
Right. It's weird when they tell you when you can go to the store and when you can't go to the store. Like I was thinking I'm gonna get up early and go to the store tomorrow. No, I'm not because it's closed at until 8 or 9.
I think that is near Yuma there,
Bitches.
Fitches. I believe that's where Imperial Dam is.
You know, if somebody's relatively healthy, maybe that's something they should do is go around their neighborhood and make sure that the elders or anybody
No, they
that
can take it. But the problem is they don't know if they carry it. You can be asymptomatic and not know. So
well
the
you can.
best thing to do is just kind of
They
leave
said you can put it on somebody's front porch. You can put it in their garage and then let it sit for a little bit or wipe it down or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it lasts very long on objects, but I don't know. Oh, really? A Swans truck that comes out to the BLM land.
That's cool.
That's nice.
That's
yeah.
cool. Hopefully they're taking it easy on their prices too.
Yeah.
Not price gouging the poor people in a time of need.
Yeah.
And that's my other thing there. These people were going and buying all this toilet paper and hand sanitizer and sticking it on Amazon and, marking the price up. I mean, just freaking insane prices. Well, there was a little article got wrote up about these people complaining. Well, now we've got all this, 20,000
Nobody
items
feels sorry
and
for 'em.
nobody, and we don't have no place to sell it. Good. Drink the shit. Hope it gives you poisoning.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about people like that try to make a profit out of other people's misery. I think you're the lowest form of freaking scum on the planet.
Yep.
And if you got anything else to say about that, we can talk offline and away from cameras.
And that's all I can say about that.
So
Right?
yeah, I don't understand profiteering out of other people's misery. I have never understood that. I mean, how can you be that insatiable asshead to try to profit, off of people's hard times? I really do not understand that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it just comes down to not even being a good person at all.
Well, it exactly what they are. They're not carrying. I'm hoping it wasn't the younger generation because
Yeah, the two that they showed in the picture, they were younger guys. So yeah, they're assholes. Let's see here. What we got here, Auntie Kippy says?
he says they come all the time not because of the virus. Their prices are high to begin with, but the food is quality.
Well, sometimes with like a food truck though, the overhead's quite a bit higher on the food truck sometimes
Right.
with insurance, depending on state by state. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the prices are going to be higher.
Right.
As long as the quality's good, that's awesome.
Yeah, I had a food truck and I had people complain about my prices, and it was because I actually use real ingredients. I didn't make them from boxes, and it was fresh. And
yeah.
it does cost more when you actually make it from scratch.
Yeah,
Sometimes, not everything.
What I always loved is when people come up to Jill's, because Jill had a mobile cupcake truck, and she would, like she said, use fresh ingredients, everything. I mean, farm fresh eggs, butter. This is top shelf ingredients that she was using, and I remember we had we had a line of people standing there at the food truck. Everybody's wanting these cupcakes off of Jill. These damn things are just awesome anyway. Well, this lady's out here. I can buy 2 dozen of cupcakes for what you guys want for 2.
Oh, they
And
said I could go to Walmart and buy it. I said, well, go to Walmart and buy it.
Try to be polite. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. You're not going to buy one of this quality. You'll buy something that's been frozen and out of a box. But okay, let's change your mind. Why don't you have one? If it ain't the best cupcake you've had, then we'll give you money back. And of course, she sat there and kept hollering and hollering. And finally, I think I told her, like, you can take your pot smoking self over to Walmart. I was like, at this point, I'm done dealing with you, because she was complaining about our water prices too, $1 for a bottle of water. I personally didn't think that was too high when most of the food trucks that was around us were like $2 plus a bottle of water.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a very hard business to be in. I tell you that, with the food trucks, especially in Ohio, especially after Ohio figured out that they can charge people astronomical amounts of money to let us go down to the Columbus Commons, and you're not even guaranteed a spot or a refund. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's a good time though.
Let's see.
That would be a good YouTube channel, Cupcake Truck. There might be. I don't know.
Well, if anybody's been watching us for a while, Buster, okay,
Our
that's the
bus.
old bus that we had. That was actually Miss Jill's food truck, and that was called the Sugar Rush at that time.
Yeah.
That's of course why it's painted red and black. And well,
Sorry, my. It just ripped.
anyway, that's why it's painted that way right there. And it used to have big signs down the side of it that said the Sugar Rush Mobile Cupcakes. But very cool. That was a pretty popular little food truck here in Columbus for a while.
Yep. There's a food truck that comes to our work parking lot every Friday. We try to go support them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Ohio with all the crap, because every time you turn around, that was the thing about our truck with the inspections and stuff like that. It was just, they want you to change this, change that, and then finally it gets to the point where, what, I'm not rebuilding this truck again for you morons.
Yeah, we didn't actually. It was a little bit easier for us because we didn't actually bake in it or cook in it.
Yeah, we ended up doing a commissary on that one, so we do all that stuff.
But it was a little harder for us because we didn't have. We had no way to keep the cupcakes from melting when it was hot out. So
we did.
Well, we had that. We had the cooler, but you had to put ice in it, and it caused condensation. And
Because of certain laws that Ohio was rolling at that time on the refrigeration part of it, and certain ways of the propane being mounted, that's why the ovens had to not be in there at that time. And then there was just a bunch of BS when they first started putting their hands in. I mean, it passed health inspection, but it was the other deemed things that they said need to be done as far as like almost trying to make it like a structural thing, like a brick and mortar restaurant.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit more strict than others. I mean,
depending on what municipality you're using to get your license.
I mean, you can go to Tulsa and there's a taco truck on every corner. I guarantee.
And I guarantee the health department ain't been to any one of those.
No, I still would try one though, probably. But anyhow.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, she remembers the bus.
The bus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We actually still have Buster at the time being. We probably need to figure out what we're going to do with him while we're here. One thing's,
So
first things first. Yeah, we gotta get a handle on this stuff that's going on in the country right now, and hopefully everybody survives. And
it's really hard because there's so many things we need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only is there maintenance to do since we are sitting still on the RV, but there's stuff around town that we have to get done and can't do it.
Yeah, so it does kind of feel like kind of wasted our time here. The downtime we were having when we first got here because we really couldn't go do anything because of said things happening and stuff. But hopefully this all clears up here soon. We can get back to doing that. And the other thing is, I need to get some warmer temperatures because I need to fix the side of the RV where that tire blew out.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah, we were looking at that today. It's like, they really just made the RV look ugly. So we gotta get some parts ordered and things like that. With everybody trying to get food and stuff online, I don't think us ordering parts for the RV is really a valid thing at the moment to worry about doing some cosmetic work out there.
Yeah, we did go to the RV shop. I was surprised they were open.
Yeah, that and some of the car dealers and stuff. I'm just amazed that these auto dealerships are open. They really want to sell a car that bad that you guys are willing to risk life or limb to rip money out of your pocket.
I'm actually impressed with the number of businesses that are still paying their employees to stay home.
Yeah, that's very commendable businesses.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, the businesses that we know that's doing that, the mom and pop restaurants, well, when everybody's allowed to come back out and eat, that's definitely one place the Bowens will be patronizing for you guys to show our support back to you for taking care of your employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you have employees, you're as good as your employees, and if you treat your employees like crap, you're just not going to make it as a good business. When we had our trucking business and we had people working for us, we tried to do everything in the world, treat them people like family, pay them early, stuff like that for the holidays. Matter of fact, I think we heard one of our drivers had problems financially for Christmas, and of course we took care of that, made sure his kids had Christmas and all that stuff like that. That's just type of thing we try to do is pass it on. If you got some good fortune, pass it to somebody else. Don't be mean and hoard it all to yourself. So
sorry.
Well, guys, we just really want to touch base with you guys today and let you guys know that we're okay. And if anybody had any real questions about what to do if you're out here full time RVing, definitely feel free to holler at us. But I've got a puppy dog here off screen here who's begging to go outside. We'd love to sit here and chit chat some more, but I think we're going to go ahead and call this video an end. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us and goofing off a little bit with us on this lovely quarantine Saturday. And if we actually do get full blown quarantine, we're going to start our own little comedy skit of what real life in the RV is like, where it's uncensored except for maybe blur out the nudie parts.
I think we were going to start doing daily diary little inserts, and then at the end we can post one big diary about how crazy you get towards the end of it.
Let's see here.
Keep safe and wash your hands.
Yes. We
Good
will do
seeing
that.
you guys. Stay in touch.
Yeah, you guys all stay safe out there. God bless. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.